So we're down to our last skein, and I actually realized with the amount of the borax eggs that we have that I'm actually going to do a try to help you guys out and do a tutorial on Pautzke's Fire Cure. Since we have so much of the borax, it's not going to be Boraxofire, but instead it's going to be the actual balls of fire cure. So the first thing you need to understand is this: Fire Cure has been known to and will burn your eggs. When I say burn, I mean they will turn into shriveled little prunes if you use too much. The Boraxofire, dump the stuff on if you want, dump the container on it, and you're not going to burn the eggs, okay? Both of it have the krill, which is obviously optimal for the steelhead, for the salmon. We found salmon and steelhead both, and as well as domestics, will take the krill. However, brown trout, they don't want, especially around in where we go fishing, they don't really want anything other than their own species of eggs. So they either want normal trout eggs, steelhead eggs, or brown eggs, which is a smaller diameter eggs. But I'm going to show you guys how to use the Fire Cure and get a really optimal egg. Alright. I actually prefer a mixture of the two, of the red and the pink. And it produces a pretty obtrusive color. It's pretty cool looking. And I'll show you guys how to do that. So we have a large skein here. Obviously, again, you can watch the videos that Casey Kelly does from Pautzke's bait company. It's a phenomenal video, and he'll tell you that you can either leave them out and on a paper towel to dry for a little bit, or you can do them right out of the fish. You pick your poison. If you want a wetter egg, you do it fresher. If you want a drier cured egg, you leave it set for half an hour or so on some paper towel in order to get some of the excess water out. So you're going to take your skein, you're going to leave it with membrane down, and the same thing you see me do in the previous ones. You're going to roll it over, and you're going to take a pair of scissors and you're going to butterfly the skein nice and gently, cutting open in order to reveal the full membrane of the egg all the way down to the front, all the way down. And you can see that just by cutting about halfway down, you still have quite a bit to go. So just take your time, work down through, and get them bad boys opened right up, because this is very important with this cure, that the way we do it. Alright, doesn't matter if the skein's been cut or not, it's absolutely fine. You just really want some butterflied open eggs. Okay, so you can see that these layers are pretty well opened up. So the way that you do this is actually very simple, and there's a really good analogy that Casey uses when he does his, and I use it pretty well, and I have never had a problem with burnt eggs. Okay, you want to use this stuff about as much as if you were salting a steak that you were grilling. You obviously don't dump the salt on, so all you're going to do, shake up your material and understand that it comes with a seal on the container. Don't throw this seal out. Okay, you can reuse this and keep this stuff. This is actually this same stuff I've been using since last year. There's two sides, a spoon side and a shaker side. There's a krill smell that everyone loves, especially my wife. And you're going to lightly shake this over the eggs. Okay. And I'm going to use about that much, and that's all I'm going to use for that, because I'm going to be mixing it again. So obviously it's not enough, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some red. Granted, it looks purple, but believe me, when it cures, it's a blood red. and it looks awesome. Just shaking a little bit on. Okay. And that's about it. And what we're going to do, optimal is a pair of gloves, but since I have 2 days off for my fingers in order to dry out, I'm just going to use my hands. What you're going to want to do is massage this stuff into these eggs. Understanding that the krill and the cure and the additives in this are going to start milking your eggs. And when I say milking, I mean that the material that's inside is going to be drained out, because this membrane is water soluble, and the material on the inside is going to be drained out and then mixed with the cure that you have, and then it's going to be put back in. Okay, so when I say that, I mean this. You're going to put this in a freezer bag, and in about 30 minutes to an hour, you're going to have a bag full of water. And everyone has a tendency to freak out, say, oh my God, my eggs are ruined. No, that's not true. Give it a little while. You can see that there's a lot of these eggs that still really haven't been touched, so you want to add a little bit more. Again, salting a steak. Easiest way to remember it. You just want to get a good even coating across most of your eggs. And if you get some that are missed, I assure you all the cure will get into them, because this stuff is just made just so that the amount that you use in your eggs will really diffuse across the entire membrane. Now, obviously that stuff looks like it's purple to me, but I promise you the end product will be like a bright fluorescent pink that when you put on your hook, it's very impressive to say the least. When you drop these in water, and you can watch a stream or an oil slick, if you might want to say that, for lack of better terms, down the stream right to the fish's nose, and it's just absolutely amazing to watch. So it's been maybe 2 minutes. You can already see all this liquid right here. That's a great sign of the stuff getting ready to milk already. Okay. Now again, it depends on how wet or how dry you like your eggs on how much you use. But understand this, it will burn them. So, now you got some nice well covered eggs. Yeah, there's a couple on the edges, but I assure you that they will mix in just fine. I'll show you now how to get these into the bag and what we do with these. So, it's been all about 2 minutes. You can already see this water starting to come out of these eggs, which is just a phenomenal thing. Okay, what you need to do is you need to get these into your bag. So you're going to grab your, I prefer a freezer bag, because sometimes some of the thinner bags don't hold all the stuff, and that's a problem. Grab a hold of your skein and simply put it in the bag. Alright, so that being said, gather up all your eggs. And this is the key part to what I consider a prime egg presentation. Now understand that when I say this, we like our eggs drier than a lot of people do. Alright, I don't want to have to come up to my bag and search through soup in order to try to find my eggs. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean off our hands. Yes, this stuff will wash off, so it's not like it's on there permanently, and you're not going to look like you've just been digging in a blackberry patch when you go to work tomorrow. What you're going to do, clear off your seal. Okay, you're going to want to zip this up. Alright, here's the important part. Again, 3 to 4 minutes from when you guys just saw me do this, and look how much milk and how much liquid is already coming out of this. This bag, in a matter of an hour and a half, will be full of liquid. That's not a bad thing. Don't get scared. In order to fully mix it again, shake your bag around the same as you do with the borax. And see if shaking it and letting a little bit of the air out may very well help the mixing situation of all the eggs that weren't initially coated. Again, it's better to be a little bit less than a little bit too much with this stuff, because this isn't the borax fire and it can bite you if you're not careful. So, what now? Here's the key part to this. Alright? For the next 3 hours, our recipe that we do is we do this. Okay? You take this bag and you leave it out for the next 3 hours. Over the next 3 hours, you're going to want to take this bag every hour, shake it, mix it, don't open it up, don't drain any of the liquid out. It is very important that it stays in there, because all the liquid that's drained out, if you were to leave it out right now, won't reinflate these eggs through the water-soluble membrane. So for the next hour, let it sit at 1 hour intervals. For the next 3, shake it up, get it all mixed in, and let it sit. On the 3rd hour, what we do, after hour number 3, we prefer to take for a drier egg presentation, what we prefer to do is we take a bed of paper towels and we will put it into the bottom of the Ziploc baggie in order to absorb some of the material, and we will pull that out and then let it set for the rest of the day, and we're good to go. And after it's refrigerated for 24 hours, even up to 12 hours, you should be able to fish these eggs. Even right now, if you honestly wanted to try to take these out, they would milk and have the krill sent to them. And I wouldn't doubt that some salmon will be biting on these right now. It's been 24 hours, and I wanted to take a second to show you guys what we were talking about by wet eggs versus dry eggs. This is the fire cure that I showed you guys how to do last night. And as you can see now, these eggs are beautifully cured. They're very malleable. They don't just pop if you squeeze them. And it's actually a little bit of a drier presentation, which is what we prefer to give. And as you can see, some of the liquid that's been was in this container was absorbed by the paper towel. And I'm just going to leave these in here like this. Intermittently, if you see any liquid, I'll just change out my paper towel, because the eggs are going to leak a little tiny bit. But these are ready to fish right now, and we're actually hopefully going to be using these tonight. And unfortunately, I wish there was night vision so I could show you guys how we fish these in Lake Ontario tributaries at nighttime for king salmon and steelhead. So thanks for watching, guys, and